What's up, everybody? RevivalHouse.net here with the BTM commentary.
Another motherfucking one, motherfucker.
We keep coming back for more. And we got a special guest this time around. Hey, he's been on before, and we're happy to have him back. We got Mr. Josh James from the R-Rated Horror channel. Take a bow.
Hey, what's up? Man, we're starting to rack up quite a catalog together.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Which, speaking of that catalog, I want to go ahead and pitch that we were just on the R-Rated Horror channel on one of their commentaries. We did Nightmare 4, so it's a nice companion piece to this one because today we're doing the Dream Warriors. We did the Dream Master with him. Just went up a day or two ago. Turned out amazing.
And go listen to that so you can hear their story about meeting Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, it was a fun night fun night in Soho and NYC. Saw a live screening of The Room, met Tommy Wiseau, whatever the fuck, how you say his name. It was a fun night, and I don't think I've had a more fun experience in a movie theater, honestly.
Oh, man, it was a great way to, because we've gotten to know each other just by podcasting together and stuff like that, and chatting and stuff like that, but to meet face to face and to have something awesome like that to do, like just hanging out together in the city that never sleeps, was a fucking blast.
Yeah. Highlight was when Tommy Wiseau was doing pictures with fans, and he took this picture with two girls. And he had one in each arm. Yeah. And he literally eats it. He eats it up. He loves his shtick now. He went from hating it to just embracing it. He's literally posing with these two chicks, one in each arm. And he's like, "You girls are tearing me apart." It's just not. That's just
you and I were just standing there in line, and we were just like staring at him, like a couple adults, just like standing there in disbelief.
He lives it. He lives. You can tell he lives the Room 24/7. That is his thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And they ran out of merch. So basically, and what I hear through the grapevine is Tommy Wiseau is going to mail us Blu-rays himself personally.
Nice.
So,
yeah, man, I sent in my my email. I'm anxiously awaiting the Blu-ray in the mail. I hope it's signed or something. I
meant to include that in the email because it was a direct email to him, if you noticed, but yeah. I meant to include that, so hopefully it's a given. I didn't want to email him again, it's whatever, so we'll see.
Maybe your Blu-ray case will have some crushed up Xanax, that whatever it is that keeps him high all the time.
And it sucks, man, because also since it's him personally sending it, we also really don't have a whole lot of confirmation that it's going to get sent. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Tommy, where the fuck is it? Hey.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, who do we call? Like, you can't call it. If you don't receive it, you can. It's just like it's almost the same as a buddy. It's like, hey, I can't. My buddy Josh will send me a DVD and he lied to me. But before we get going into this, going to Nightmare 3, we're slowly chipping away at the Nightmare block because we've done part 2. We've done Freddy's Dead, horrible movie. We've done Freddy vs. Jason, and we've done the remake, even worse movie, and now we're doing part 3. So we're slowly chipping away at that, and eventually we're going to have to bite the bullet and do part 5, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking sucks. But let me go ahead and we'll start this. Before we start, or do you want me to read some of the comments while we're starting the movie?
Yeah, right after we start it, because it has that long opening.
I got you with all the quotes and shit like that. So we'll go ahead and start. We'll do a 3, 2, 1 count. 3, 2, 1 play.
We paused it right as the Edgar Allan Poe quote showed up. Right after.
The second it fades in solid completely is where we're going to start. Is everybody on point?
Mm-hmm.
We are ready? All right.
I'm all set, dude.
3, 2, 1 play. Sleep. Those little slices of death. How I loathe them. Edgar Allan Poe. What an emo bitch.
Edgar Allan Poe, he married and fucked his cousin.
Oh, are you jealous?
Yes.
That makes me think about tonight in NYC. I went to the Museum of Sex, and I don't know if there's anything on incest there, but I couldn't stop thinking of Zach the whole time.
Hell yeah!
I sent you guys a video of the bicycle dildo.
You should have fucking sucked it and saw what kind of looks you'd get.
I was the first one on that thing, though, drilling it. And then, some guy asked me to get on the receiving end. I'm like, no way, it's all right. It's weird. Have you ever been there, Josh?
No, I've heard a lot about it, though. I mean, I recognized it right away, but...
There's a little porno theater in there, like a little room. And you can look in there and kind of duck down and go in it. And it seats just a few people. And they're playing like this porn.
Was the floor sticky?
No, but it's weird because you're just sitting there watching porn with other people. It's really weird.
It's hot.
Yeah, that would be awkward.
And then one of the things that they claim to fame is there's this bouncy room, but it's almost like a like a moon room, like you go in a bouncy room like kids. Like all, you know, it's a bouncy room, but it's for adults, and it's just like big tits, like boobs.
Oh, nice.
And I went in there and played around like a kid for like 5 minutes, and it was just, I'm not a kid anymore, man. Exhausted the fuck out of me. I couldn't get up. I'm like, shit, I couldn't move, and I was hurting myself and slapping my fucking head.
Did you come?
No, it's so weird when you're in a place like the Museum of Sex. It's anything but sexy. It's not sexy. That looks like cum. What is she smearing on that?
Yeah, I was waiting for Zach to say something.
That looks like it. Yeah, so we got Patricia Arquette here. That's the AKA the Not Tuesday Night.
I'd have sex with Patricia.
Nah, man, she's of the same tree of what's his face, Alexis Arquette. They're a weird family.
That's fine.
And David Arquette.
Yeah, they are weird.
They're a weird family.
She's like the normal one, you know?
David Arquette was in Ready to Rumble. That's a great movie.
So we got quite a few comments this last week. Honestly, a lot. I kind of have to go through and I'm going to pick some of the ones that I want to address because there is a shit ton. Let me see here. I will comment on... We have a new... Let me see. Hold the phone. We got this new listener by the name of... Well, it looks like it's a duo. I don't know if I'm speaking to Danielle or Joey, but they share an account, Danielle and Joey Wilkerson. He liked and listened to our Leprechaun 3 commentary. We had a bit of a dialogue on there. He requested that we check out Alone in the Dark, that fucking Steven Dorff movie, that Uwe Boll movie.
Yeah, ooey.
And I said, it depends. Is it bad or awesomely bad? He says it's extremely awesomely bad, and that the first 3 minutes of the film is rolling text with a narrator explaining the whole plot for us. Like it's just fucking dumb. So yeah, I said we'd consider that if it's awesomely bad. And then, he apparently really wants to watch The fucking Zombie King because he was all about that commentary.
Don't.
And I'm like, you really? I was like, you really don't, man. I'm like, this movie's not awesomely bad.
Oh, that was especially bad.
It is bad. I said, you know what?
Especially bad.
I said, you can just fast forward to the end when you get the one scene with the Feldman and Furlong in one scene.
Well, they're fucking.
And that's it, man. Another one I'll bring up is we have a new listener by the name of Gage Thentz, and he was commenting on our Evil Dead commentary. And he goes, just discovered your channel about a week ago. I've been binge listening ever since. You guys are fucking hilarious. You guys should do more video game commentaries. The Resident Evil commentaries and videos were great. And let me see. I can
Holy
extend
shit,
that
I
comment.
forgot we did that. No, but like that didn't get many hits at all.
Yeah, those aren't getting too much, but we need to keep pushing them out, though. They'll eventually latch on to some folks.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Keep it up, dudes. And he also says, new drinking game. Take a shot anytime Zach says, or I think so.
Do I say that a lot?
Yeah. It's funny, though, man. I don't mind it. It's cool. I said, yeah, fuck yeah. And then looks like they start dogpiling because Adrian Mendoza jumps in. Yeah, he does say, what does he say? He agrees. Yeah. What do we got here? Oh, and we got a little bit of criticism here. Mega Tobins 696. This is in response to the Evil Dead commentary. He says, I'm sorry, but you guys got so many things wrong about this film. I had to stop listening, but it didn't stop him from commenting, right? First of all, the movie did not bomb. It was made for 17 million and it made 100 million. That's a big success.
Did we say it bombed?
This is the biggest comment I've ever gotten. This guy took a long time to for a guy that couldn't finish the commentary. He sure used a lot of his time to make a giant fucking novel of a comment. So I'm going to read the whole thing, because I respect that he took the time. That's a big success, he says. Second of all, most actual horror fans loved the movie. Evil Dead bias fanboys were the only ones that had an issue with it.
Oh, fuck you.
So I'm going to stop I'm going to make comments as I go. I'm going to stop on that one for a second and say that's not the case, because if you were to go back in our archives, Riverman and I were actually excited for it. Do you remember that, Zach?
Yeah.
That was like, we even said this is the one remake we could actually stand behind because it was being produced by Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell. It had their blessing. It was unlike a lot of remakes where they're usually done by the studios that now own the rights, right?
But he's just going to say, yeah, you're just a biased fanboy.
So we actually championed it and we were excited for it and we were really disappointed when we saw it. So we totally had an open mind about it because, like I said, it's not your typical remake or reboot, kind of like a Hellraiser thing where, you know, Clive Barker straight up just doesn't own the property anymore, right? Whoever's going to make money is going to make money from it. So this had the blessing of the original creators. So it's not my fault they dropped the ball. But, and we didn't say it was fucking horrible. We just said it was just there, which is the worst crime you could do. It's like, if you're going to be bad, you go all the way or be really good.
What'd you think of that movie, Josh?
I think it was fine. But once you suck out all the uniqueness and the directorial vision of a movie a movie like Evil Dead, it just becomes another boring sort of gore fest, you know? So, I mean, it wasn't... I don't think that movie was hated on because it didn't really step on the original in any way, like, say, the Freddy remake did.
Yeah,
but
it was just forgettable,
it's very forgettable and kind of a boring movie. So, yeah, I saw it, and I was like, that was all right, but I never cared to watch it again.
And we'll get to that later. And our big complaint on that commentary was, I'm sorry the characters were weak, and we'll get to that in this comment later. He goes on to say... And the fire at the start wasn't CGI at all. They shot the girl tied up in one shot, and then they shot actual fire burning behind her with a green screen.
And it looked that fucking bad?
With a green screen, and then they composed the shots together.
Fuck, maybe they should have just used CG then.
Man, if that's the case, I appreciate you letting us know, because I don't know, man, it looked like her face was on CG fire. Her face looked CG too.
Yeah.
It looked, but you know, who am I? It looked bad regardless, right? It's whatever. So if that's the case, thank you for letting us know, but I'm curious to look more into it. Sounds like you might have gotten that from a featurette of sorts. So I'd be curious to know if you're listening to this one. You might not be listening to this one because you turned off that one, right? But if you are, let us know where you got that information. If there's any cool featurettes out there, I'd like to check it out. He also goes on to say, there's quite a bit here. All the characters in this and the story are 100 times better than the originals. Maybe if you didn't talk over the whole movie, you would listen to the actual dialogue instead of saying, I didn't pay attention all the time.
That's the first time we ever watched it.
Listen. Then he goes,
I think he's missing... Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, this guy goes on. No shit, you are not going to connect with the characters. You aren't even paying attention. And as Zach was about to say, it's not as if that's the first time we've seen the movie. We mentioned in the commentary, if you did listen, this is our third, fourth, fifth time watching that movie. We've seen it. We mentioned from the beginning that, hey, we're going to keep trying to give it a chance. I've watched it a handful of times.
He would have known that if he would have kept watching, but why the fuck are we finishing his comment if he didn't even finish our video? I say we stop. Fuck the rest of his comment.
And the thing is, too, is that, it's kind of self-evident that a fucking fan commentary is going to be talking over the movie. So, well, I don't know. Maybe they're just not familiar with the concept of a commentary.
He's got a few more paragraphs. No, he's got a few more paragraphs. I think anybody that takes the time to leave us this much of a comment.
Yeah, I agree. I say keep going, man. I want to hear what this guy's saying. I'm not dogging
him. I appreciate this much interaction. We'll get to this. We just got Lawrence Fishburne on screen, which is cool. Every time I see this movie, man, I'm like, oh yeah, fucking Lawrence Fishburne's in this.
Yeah,
I'd fish his burn.
So, but we'll get through this really quick. Rest of Megatobin 696. He also goes, the possessed version of Mia was not played by a dude. The fuck did you hear that from? It was the same actress, unless you were talking about the body of the abomination at the very, very end, but the face of that was still Jane Levy. You are clearly not paying attention to half this shit and then complain about it. Okay, so I read that the possessed version of her in the basement was played by a guy. I guess I'd have to go back and read it again. I'm not saying that's gospel. I'm just saying that I did hear that. And even during the movie, when we were watching it, I'm like, I don't know. That kind of does look like her. And I just mentioned, hey, I read that. I thought that was the case. But now that I'm rewatching it, I'm like, I don't know. I'm trying to see it, So whatever, man. I didn't make the fucking movie myself. Did I do a whole bunch of research? No. Do I care? No, I don't give a shit. It's whatever. It's a fan commentary. But I appreciate you pointing us out there. And he also goes, why even do a commentary of a movie if you are not actually going to pay attention and state infactual shit all the time? Okay, now this guy's being an asshole. You know what? This guy's being a fucking dickhead.
Great. Dude, do you know how I would be fucking ecstatic if somebody went to the trouble to write a negative review of one of my videos like that, man. I love that shit.
It's fine though. No, I still respect. I love it. I don't care if he's kind of being he's being passionate, right? He's a fan.
Yeah,
he can spin it all he wants. I actually love it.
Why can't you be passionate about a fucking good movie?
So okay, but here you go. This is how he closed it off, and this is his opinion. Bottom line, this movie and Evil Dead 2 are the best films in the Evil Dead franchise, and it's not even close.
Evil Dead 2 is actually my least favorite out of the 3 originals.
Well, it's my favorite, but still, he thinks this one and Evil Dead 2 are by far the best ones in the series, like by a long shot.
That's mind-boggling.
So, that's clearly his opinion, and that's clearly where he stands on it. So thank you so much for that comment. I actually really do appreciate it. We love hearing the feedback and things like that. And there is a lot of other comments. I might get to a few later at the end of it, but we'll go ahead and start with the movie though. So that one kind of took it out of me.
We're missing
just real
the
quick.
luscious.
Let me just say oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're missing the luscious Patricia here with the knife.
Oh yeah, the scalpel scene.
I'd still try to fuck her if she had that knife pointed at me.
She'd probably report you, man. She's a big part of the Me Too movement, right?
That's fine.
What were you going to say there, Home Slice? JJ?
Oh, I was going to say that, I think maybe sometimes people forget that we don't come at these things as, from like a position of some kind of like false authority, but we're just fans too. And it's just all based off opinion and knowledge of the movies of what we know and our experience of them. So
no, 100%. And Mega Tobin 696, if you are listening, doesn't sound like you would be. I would suggest you go over to Josh James's channel, the R-rated horror channel. It's a bit more informative that from what I can tell usually. And like I said, we just did Nightmare 4 on there, and it's quite informative.
Probably stay away from that one because we're on it.
Oh my God, dude, he would love our channel because I'm so misinformed. I get shit wrong all the time. Oh. So he'd have a field day with us.
See, look right there. I forgot Bill Maher was in this movie.
He looks like him. He actually kind of looks like the fucking trick. He kind of looks like the trickster without his makeup.
Yeah.
Brain Scan.
Brain Scan's awesome.
I just met Heather Langenkamp last Halloween.
Nice.
And she still looks pretty good, man. She was so nice. She's such a friendly person.
Mm-hmm. So she's super
really,
humble
really cool.
and she's not like Jamie Lee Curtis where she denounces her fucking roots.
Jamie Lee Curtis doesn't do that now.
No, not at all. She embraces it.
They always do that at one point, but then they stop. It's funny.
Jamie Lee Curtis didn't embrace it till just a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because her stock as an actress.
Yeah, that's right.
She got older. Therefore her stock dropped, right? She's kind of old news in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she got sick of doing yogurt commercials, I guess.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh man, I fucking love this horror stuff. I can go to these conventions and all these people love me here. I'm still hot in that circuit. And then of course I'm going to do Halloween fucking 40 years later or whatever it is. I can actually star in a movie now. So that's what it is, man. It's that old expression, what's it? Be good to the people on the way up because you'll see them on the way down, right? Mm-hmm. Only with her, she's bulletproof. It's just like everybody welcomed her with open arms, like Jamie. But yeah, I don't know. People return to that. So maybe Lawrence Fishburne will.
I'd party with Jamie.
Oh, I'm sure she's real nice. She's a real advocate, and she's into a lot of charities and stuff like that. She just. Never really claimed to be huge into the horror stuff, which whatever. She's a paid actress. I'm sure none of these actors. You think Lawrence Fishburne wanted to stay in horror? Is that Sean Astin? Is that fucking Rudy?
Fuck yeah.
That's just what I thought. It's Frodo or was it Samwise?
Yeah. Same. You think Lawrence Fishburne here wanted to stay in horror movies? No, they're just paid actors, So I get it.
Yeah.
All these people, even your people like, I don't know, name an actress that's pretty much a horror actress. I'm drawing a blank. Linnea Quigley or no, that's not right. Yeah, I know, it's weird. I'm on the spot. But whatever. Those people, though, at some point or another, all these actresses accept it and embrace it, right?
Yeah.
So, just the way it is.
There's Kincaid, man. My boy.
He's my man. Does he have Run DMC and LL Cool J posted behind his bed there?
Yep. That's what I was just looking at too.
I want to say what a stereotypical move, but that's probably what he was listening to. It's probably what he would have been listening to.
It would have been hilarious if they had like poison or something up there, you know.
You found a dream pal, man.
And then this chick. Yeah, see, Joey doesn't talk in this movie. Why does he show up in part 4 and just can talk?
He's got one of the coolest scenes with that nurse, man.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, I love this nurse.
Yeah, she's fucking amazing.
I love the nurses in the horror movies, man.
They're
Come
great.
On. It's
the nurses in Halloween too. The one that gets fucking melted in the sauna pool and her fucking tits.
Damn tits.
And her face when he pulls her face up by the end, by the last time he dips her face up, his face looks like Jim Carrey and the fucking Cable Guy with the chicken skins.
Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs.
That girl right there, that's the mom of the freaking weird goth chick that's in Friday the 13th Part 5, Violet.
Oh, for reals? I have to... I admittedly I watched 5 the least for obvious reasons.
Fuck
and it's like it's always foggy, man. Nightmare on Elm Street 5, right? Is that what you said? Nightmare 5?
Friday the 13th 5.
Yeah. Oh, Friday 5. I'm sorry. I thought you said Nightmare 5. My bad. How many of you guys have a picture perfect memory frame by frame of Nightmare 5? I don't think I mean, like, I know the movie. I generally know what happens. I know at the end she gives birth to the Freddy kid, who's just the fucking raptor kid from Jurassic Park. That isn't very scary. You know, he plays the dream child. But other than that, it's like, man, I don't know. I remember Super Freddy. I remember Need for Speed.
The guy from Thursday plays the guy that dies in the comic book, that band Thursday.
Oh, the hardcore band or the whatever the fuck metalcore?
No, they're like
pop punk.
They're like fucking.
I don't fucking know. They're a band you'd see on Warped Tour back in the day. Regardless.
Yeah.
Look at that computer, man.
That computer sucks.
I'll be honest, it's been a while since I've seen Dream Child, man. Been quite a while.
Now I'd like to do it, honestly. Now it makes you want to do it.
It's just fucking, it stinks of straight to video full moon shit.
And it's weird though, because I'd want to watch it. It'd be interesting to watch a movie like that right after this one, you know, which is considered one of the best ones, just to see the contrast. Because it's one of those movies where I think of it like, okay, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember some of the dreams and kills. And I don't think horrible things about it. Like, well, you know, there's effort there. Like the Need for Speed, like there's an effort in that kill. Even the comic book death, I don't like it. It's kind of weak, but at least they're trying something new, Super Freddy and all that shit. But obviously when you watch the movie, it shows itself and I don't really know where it loses its way. Is it the characters? Is it the dialogue? What is it?
It's just, yes.
I don't really remember the movie being especially bad, but I just don't really remember it that much, you know, which isn't a good sign.
It's just it's very phoned in every way.
I remember the opening a lot. The opening where the nun gets trapped in the room and Robert Englund has his first. No, it's not his first, because I guess the first cameo he had of himself was in 2, but yeah, he shows up in there without the makeup on and stuff in the beginning.
He
and
plays the nurse in part 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's in makeup though. I'm just saying, like, you know, just straight up Robert Englund, you know.
Yeah, he's basically playing Freddy's dad.
That's weird. My favorite Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger, you know, unburnt is in Freddy's Dead, because it's just so overacted, you know, at the beginning where he's like all old and he's licking the picture of the girl.
That's it. That's not Freddy's Dead. That's Freddy vs. Jason.
I mean, Freddy vs. Jason. That's what I meant to say.
God,
Fuck
you're such a fucking noob.
I know, man. That fucking guy's gonna get me.
Yeah.
What's his fucking name? He's gonna get me, man. Megatobin's gonna get me. But no, you know what I mean. Freddy versus Jason. That's what I meant. So we just got done watching 4, like I said, last week, and yeah, these are pretty much companion pieces. I think to me, we mentioned it on your podcast, Josh, but the aesthetic of this one and the 4th one, to me, they kind of represent prime Freddy. You know, I agree. They based all merchandising, the Freddy pinball machine, all the shit that came out in, like, this was like Freddy hype. This was he had albums coming out. It was during this era, and everything was represented by this aesthetic on these movies, the Rennie Harlan and all that shit, whatever he fucking did. Like I said, when you find that, have you ever played that pinball machine, the old Nightmare pinball machine?
I never have.
Dude, it's like the whole thing is the whole thing is based on, because think about it, but in Nightmare 1 and 2, there was no nightmares like this.
Mm-hmm.
None of this shit existed. It wasn't like this Beetlejuice fucking shit. Like we're about to see a fucking Freddy worm that's like jumped right out of fucking Tim Burton Beetlejuice. It wasn't like that. The dreams were a little bit more scary, I guess, in the first one, you know, like slasher-esque.
Yeah.
Right.
And 2, it was really its own thing with Freddy kind of bleeding into the real world with Jesse. It wasn't until 3 and 4 that we got Freddy's turf. Besides, we kind of stepped outside of the boiler room and we had like the house and we have like this and
The
this fucking worm.
fantasy came in.
The fantasy element. Absolutely. That's what I mean. So, like I said, all this shit is represented in all the Freddy merchandise that came. I mean, this is where they hit their stride.
Mm-hmm. That Freddy cock, though.
Yeah, that scene didn't go on long enough, man. I want more of it.
Yeah, they made it to look like a cock, but then whenever they showed up to shoot it, they were like, "We can't do that," and then they covered it in like fucking goop.
So help me out. Okay, so with Heather Langenkamp in this one, and I know that guy would probably call us out in the comments, and he'd probably say, "Well, if you listen to the movie, you'd know." But you don't understand. When we're doing comments, we keep the volume down really low because we're talking. And what's that whole thing with? Well, if you wouldn't talk the whole time, you'd actually listen. Like, what's a commentary, motherfucker?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna talk. It makes a real bad commentary when we know it's talking.
exactly.
But no, I'm saying, can you explain to me Heather Langenkamp's involvement in this movie? What does that say about the ending of the first one? Did it happen or not? Did her mom get pulled through the door? Did they take off in the Freddy mobile with Johnny Depp at the end, or did they just write that off? You know what I mean?
I think the mom's still dead, but it's like they wrote it off, but didn't because the mom died.
Because I mean, it's possible that the dream could have been real, and Heather Langenkamp made it out of it alive because she's here, but.
So canon must be that the ending of part 1, where she pulls him out of the dream, actually is real. Even for it to make sense, it has to all be a dream, because he comes out and yet there's still like weird magic shit going on. Like whenever he kills the mom and it turns into like a pit.
Yeah, does she mention her mom being dead in this?
I think
This one?
so.
I guess we'd hear that if we stopped fucking talking so much, right?
Yeah, stop fucking talking and watch the movie.
Yeah, I don't know, but they probably had no problem writing off any little inconsistency there to put her in this movie because no one liked the second one at the time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we'll just scratch that. Let's bring back Heather Langenkamp.
And Wes Craven actually wrote the original script for this, but it got rewritten a couple times.
Oh, yeah, did it get rewritten a couple of times?
Apparently, it was originally like even darker than the first 2.
I would have been interested to read that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to see where he was going with that. Let's see. During this time, I want to see if Heather Langenkamp was on. What year did this come out?
86.
Okay, so
Maybe.
Heather Langenkamp wasn't on Just the 10 of Us yet. Remember she was on that TGIF show?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That spin-off show with Mike Seaver's fucking coach, high school coach?
Mm-hmm.
Or gym teacher or whatever. She was like the oldest daughter. I guess that started in 88. I was just double checking. So,
Fun fact, the same guy that directed this movie directed The Mask.
hey, it's Fat Renee Zellweger. Actually, she looks like Bobby Hill with long hair.
Bobby Hill.
I know, Dad.
And the remake of The Blob.
What?
The same guy that directed The Mask and the remake of The Blob.
Oh, he directed
It's
the
like,
Blob?
man, you thought Tuesday night had a butterface. It's like,
Or
yikes.
she's got a butterface too.
No.
She just probably looks.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
They made her look beat up. I mean, I guess if she, you know.
This movie was 87, by the way.
Oh, was it?
Which would make sense. It makes sense because they're so closely knit, those two movies, 3 and 4.
That is fucking Frodo, man.
Oh, it totally.
He looks like He looks like him mixed with like fucking Corey Feldman. Like they fucked each other. Or
Yeah,
like
he's got their.
they both jacked off and like stirred their semen together and then poured it into a chick.
I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Who is that doctor again? I know her. She's been in other shit.
I don't fucking know.
You need to fucking know.
She looks like a
You'd know if you paid attention.
Cloris Leachman ripoff or something.
Bobby Hill next to fucking Kincaid he's such a likable guy, man.
I'd suck his dick.
I don't think you could take it.
I could.
I don't think you could.
I'd be like that chick in that GIF I sent you guys.
Yeah, it was crazy. He's a nice guy. He's always doing the con circuit. And he's the kind of guy I'd like to get on a commentary sometime. You think he might do it?
Probably not now that I said I'd suck his dick.
Oh, maybe, or depending on how he swings, maybe it'll entice him further. This guy, they really attempt to get the Motley Bunch, represent every personality in this group,
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are the odds they would all be this like polar opposite? It's almost like, and even got the cripple. It's like they cast the Burger King Kids Club.
Yeah, this never happens. Real people aren't this fucking interesting. Real people are boring and fucking stupid.
Yeah. And what's the whole deal? I don't know. Hey, Josh, do you remember the Burger King's Kids Club? Remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember how un-PC everything used to be just a short time ago? Literally, they named the cripple Wheels.
Yeah, that people would be rioting over that these days.
His name was Wheel, and the thing is they were their hearts were in the right place. They weren't meaning to offend. They were trying to, but you can tell whoever was behind the writing and the marketing campaign of that clearly wasn't handicapped themselves. Or else
they should have called him Crippy Boy.
No, it's horrible. I'm just saying, like, the person behind it doesn't mean any harm, but clearly they're not like handicapped, or they don't know anybody handicapped personally, or else they would know. Yeah, they probably shouldn't call them Wheels. It's not nice. But they wanted to represent everybody. It's not nearly as offensive as the.
I remember the Burger King Kids Club. Why did you not include me in that? Remember that?
Because you're young. You're younger, man.
It was in the 90s. How would I not remember?
It was late 80s, early 90s. Yeah,
I remember that shit.
It was like turn of the 90s. So I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I'll include you next time. It's not nearly as offensive as the handicapped guy from Don't Be a Menace.
That guy's awesome. His little legs.
That's ridiculous. Okay, so let's where are we at in the story right now? She's out to dinner with Bill Maher here.
She's getting ready to ask him if they can I think this is where she brings up Hypnosil, and he's like, no, that shit's not approved by the FDA, bitch.
So what's wrong with all these fucking kids? Why are they all locked up in a loony bin? I mean, the kid in the wheelchair seems really nice and smart. What's wrong with him?
Because they're dreams, bitch.
It's all because of the dreams. Because you look at the chick with the drug problem, and they make it seem like a rehab or something because she's like jonesing for the needle, the one bad seed.
Maybe they've all committed suicide because it started out with it looking like she committed suicide and they sent her there.
She's got a real iconic death scene.
Hers?
No, or not death scene, or like when she's got the track marks. It always grossed me out when the track marks are like sucking.
That's not hers. That's Jennifer Rubin. That's the one chick that you said had a butterface.
That's what I'm talking about.
Why'd you say her? That's not her.
Well, you said her after I was talking about that character being a drug addict.
Blowing my mind over here.
So, like, have you ever been in a situation where you're all sleeping in the same room? Like, these guys are not kids. What do they do when they have to jerk off?
They go to the bathroom.
Reminds me of
military.
Yeah, because there was 4 of us in a small ass room.
It's got to get done at some point. Not in the group showers. Tell me about it.
You just everybody just rolls over facing the wall and just goes to sleep. And what happens.
I was staying in a hostel one time in North Hollywood, and there was 4 of us in this little bunk room, and I was on the bottom bunk on the left side of the wall, and on the right side of the wall, adjacent to me was one guy, and on the top bunk, he kind of calls me and says, "Psst," and I kind of look up, and he's like pointing down to the bed underneath him, the one directly across from me, and the guy's fucking jacking off. He's like just jacking off, he's jacking off, and he's not even really trying to hide it. I think he thought we were all asleep or something. I think he had headphones in.
He's probably hoping you'd join in. Like, fuck yeah.
No. Anyway, the guy on top who got my attention, he pushes record on his phone, and he puts his phone down towards the bed where you can't see it, and he's recording him jacking off, and he posted it on YouTube.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Did it ruin his life? Did he commit suicide?
I don't know, but it was really disturbing. I'm like, I don't want to watch this, man. You're weird for even recording.
If I got caught, like they always if your parents walk in on you jacking off, it's like, oh, you gotta stop. I just keep going and just look at them like, yeah.
Use it. You just use it as ammo.
Because then what are they gonna do?
I don't know. Some of I gotta say, the dream sequences and things like that in this movie, they're pretty gross. Like, they were pretty gross to me as a kid. Like, this was pretty nasty to me. This used to make me kind of squirm.
This is a great. I like this one a lot. This Nightmare is pretty cool.
It's really cool.
The puppeting. Yeah.
Well, like, can you imagine? This is the first time whoever's idea it was. Like, let's get really creative with these kill sequences. Like, they didn't have anything to really rip off. They could really go nuts. You know. Same thing with 4. It was still fresh enough. Clearly, they were running out of ideas a movie or two later. But I don't know. This would have been a writer's paradise to, like, that would be your job. Like, come up with really cool Freddy kills.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, that's what makes this franchise fucking sweet, is that they got creative. They did things that other slashers couldn't do. You know?
Look, he just took her food. I'd beat the shit out of that little bitch.
He needed the tray. I mean, did he have to?
Yeah, I would have smacked the shit out of him. You just fucking spilled my sandwich?
This guy looked like he jumped out of that guy in the wheelchair yelling. He looks like he jumped out of We Sing. Zach, best Christmas ever.
He should have been in there. So what's he puppeteering him by? His veins or his fucking tendons or something? What is that shit?
Wait, why did it looks like he kind of jumped off the cliff. You know, it's like he cut him and then he went.
It looks like a stunt guy actually jumped off the ledge of the building.
That's what.
They're all like, why'd you commit suicide, man? Why? You ever see that Neil Breen movie?
No.
Fateful Findings. I sent you that video of him like,
I can't believe you committed suicide. I cannot believe you committed suicide. How could you have done this? How could you have committed suicide?
It's amazing. We should do a commentary for that. He's like the next Tommy Wiseau. He thinks he's like making great movies.
Tommy Wiseau did make great movies. Dude, Tommy Wiseau is so commercial. Like, he is really enjoying his resurgence. He's got a second 15 minutes of fame. He's doing he posted on his Facebook that he's filming a Super Bowl commercial. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Like, you know, he's like,
do people still watch the Super Bowl?
Yeah, dude, unfortunately they do.
Why?
But, I'm just saying, like, he's really riding this wave, and he still only has like one fucking outfit because he's wearing that same fucking outfit and everything.
Mm-hmm.
He's really going for like a uniform. That's like his Tommy Wiseau uniform.
Yeah.
He's branding himself, man, which is smart, actually. But I'd like to see him get another hit. I'd like to see him do something that's. I don't think there'll ever be anything as good as The Room.
I don't think he will. It's lightning in a bottle. This is what he's getting. I think he's tapping into what he knows, and
I think it wouldn't even be hard. I think he could. Like, The Room isn't even that good of a movie.
No, the movie itself is not good.
It's terrible, but it's a movie where nothing happens. It would be easy to outdo that movie. Just make another
I think
Best
Friends looks great. But it's not. He didn't direct it. You know, he's just literally an actor for hire. But who knows? I mean, if you look at the trailer for Best Friends, it looks more cohesive than The Room, and even the acting isn't quite as bad. If anything, some of the acting seems forced to be bad on purpose, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you can't recreate a total car crash movie like that. It was just something that happened, you know?
You know, that was their goal. Like, you don't get Greg Sestero and Tommy Wiseau in a movie together and you don't want them to act really good. Like, we gotta make this hammy. We gotta do it. There's that one scene in the trailer where Greg Sestero's out to dinner with that girl and she says, so what do you do? And he goes, well, I'm in the gold business. And she goes, oh, well, that's good because I'm a gold digger. Just kidding. That sounds so forced. Like they were trying to do it. Like he was like, they were trying.
Well, they don't really have a choice. They kind of have to do that because that's what people are expecting. But it's just, I don't think it can work, really, can it? You know, I mean,
no, I mean, as long as Tommy Wiseau has enough screen time, it'll work for him because he seems
right.
He is, all his lines were straight up Tommy.
He was fucking gold in Samurai Cop too. He just didn't have that much time on screen.
He was awesome. Like, he'll always be Tommy Wiseau. Everybody else, I think everybody else in the room was so bad mainly because of the script, working off of Tommy himself. I mean, I don't know, a whole bunch of stuff.
It was just kind of like a perfect storm of a whole bunch of things that came together that made that what it was. But you know what he should do that would be smart if he, you know, if he thought about it, what he should do is just start up a production company, or just go around cherry picking out, trying to find like the worst movies made every year or something, and try to bring them into the spotlight and like give them exposure. You know, like there's got to be tons of like, you know, small movies that have been made that are just absolutely horrible.
So he can have like his own. He can have his own Joe Bob Briggs Monster Vision, but it's like YSO Vision, and he's in front of a trailer and he's screening really shitty movies.
His own trauma.
His own trauma.
Exactly.
Yeah,
because that, you know, I mean, it would bring awareness to independent filmmakers. It would keep that sort of quick and fast, you know, fast and loose, shitty movie making thing alive. And
he could be like the Lloyd Kaufman. They like anybody can get him in their movie. Like he'll do it for free. Like look what they're watching. They're watching Critters, baby. Critters is cool.
Oh, nice. I never noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I noticed it either.
I'd fuck Billy Zane.
Okay.
With or without hair.
He's got hair in that movie.
Or both. Yeah. 80s Billy Zane still had hair, I guess.
What is Billy Zane? Is he like Mediterranean?
I don't know.
Like I never knew.
I'd fuck her.
You got that guy.
This is the girl I was talking about in part 4 we did last weekend that I saw at the con from across the room, and it was just like
she looked different
in a bad way. You know what I mean? And there was like nobody at her table at all, and I felt really bad.
She looks like she could have put on a shit ton of weight. Probably had bags under her eyes, tattoos all over her body. What'd she look like? Yeah,
she was just aged really, really badly. You know.
I'm gonna find her. What's her name again?
The last name's Ruben, I think. Or
I'm gonna see. They always have to have that crooked fucking nurse or whatever you want to call those guys in the movie.
I always love this scene.
I think everybody does.
Jennifer Rubin's her name.
Jennifer Rubens. Okay, I'm gonna find her.
Not Rubens.
Ruben.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fucking Pee-wee.
Paul Rubens with an I or an E.
It's Pee-wee's sister.
Is it with an I or an E?
Rubin.
Rubin.
The first person that comes up is a blogger, but that's not her. It looks nothing like her. Nightmare on Elm Street. This is probably the most famous scene in the movie. Would you guys argue that?
No. Probably is.
Maybe. Actually, yeah, you see a lot of this. This scene is referenced a lot when this movie's brought up, I think.
I forgot last con I went to, I bought a Freddy t-shirt and I forgot I had it. I need to pull that out. I like bought it, wore it once, and it was the Freddy Dare shirt, you know?
Cool.
The baseball shirt, the Dare to Resist. What is it? Dare to Resist Drugs or whatever, and it's got him with the syringe fingers. Hey, that was like fucking Trick or Treat, dude.
Mm-hmm. She should have pulled him out, and she could have turned into like fucking
a little bitty dummy that was the size of Zelda Rubinstein.
What the fuck was that? What happened there? Was it supposed to be like, oh, because he pulled her out of the TV, she was small? Like, it's small.
I never understood that.
I don't get that.
I'm seeing this one picture. This picture on Wikipedia doesn't look bad at all, but who knows when that was taken?
Dude, I'm looking through. I just did a Google search on her, and I just did Jennifer Rubin now, and all these are really old pictures from the 80s and 90s. There's no like recent pictures of her floating around.
Like really recent?
She was also in that movie Bad Dreams. It's like an 80s horror movie.
Yeah, I mean, all these other ones. Yeah, these other ones don't look too bad, though, so they must not be too old.
I guess people just aren't taking pictures of her at the con.
I found a picture of her from October of 2017. And she doesn't look bad.
She just woke up on the wrong side of bed, Josh.
I mean, she's rocking
Maybe
that.
She was just really hungover that day.
Well, I'm not saying she looks good, but she doesn't look bad for how many years it's been. I mean, it's been like 30 years. And she's rocking that short hair mom dude that looks fucking bad. I don't think it looks good. Here, I'm going to send it to you guys in the group chat, and you guys can tell me what you think. But this was taken literally 3 months ago. She aged about how I would imagine. I just heard your fucking phone, man. Rookie.
Shit. I'll put it on vibrate. Sorry.
Rookie.
I'd hit it.
Yeah, she looked significantly worse than that. I don't know. Maybe it was an off day. It's possible. Shit, I look terrible on some days too.
Maybe what the fuck was that? We got Tim Allen on the phone. Bring him in. Tim Allen should have played Freddy Krueger. It could have worked.
Oh man, I love that carburetor, man. I never got his humor.
I love Home Improvement, man. I love it.
I watched it as a kid, but he's like one of the most famous comedians that isn't funny, I think.
I used to love that show when I was a kid back in the 90s, man.
I love it. I think he's funny on sitcoms. Like, I don't think I'd like his stand-up if it's the same.
Oh, his stand-up is bad, dude.
It would be bad.
Yeah.
His stand-up, if it's just that clean family man, it's his character, the manly man. That's his character. It works on a sitcom. It works very well on a sitcom. I don't know how he got a sitcom from that stand-up routine, though. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, Tim Allen, back in I don't think he was really funny, but he was just really, really likable. That's why people like the show.
Really likable. I think he's funny on the show. On the show, he's such a likable dope of a character. He's such a dope. And I don't know. He had a shtick and it worked for him.
I don't know. I think the laugh track gave a lot of help to the material. But, it's not like he was really writing a lot of that stuff, I don't think.
I think you're crazy. I watched that show still today. I just binge watched the whole thing on Hulu not that long ago, and I fucking love it. It's great.
Sticky.
So let me think. Is this guy gonna try and get his pinky stinky with her? What's his
I don't know why he's not.
I mean, what's his thing? He's one of these guys that wears a fucking dress shirt with a tie tucked into jeans. He's like an English teacher.
He's got the candles lit, man. He's setting the mood.
Yeah, I think she's
making a play on her right now.
Are we supposed to believe that Heather Langenkamp's much older and mature in this because they gave her a skunk streak in her hair? She looks the fucking same. You know what I'm saying? She looks like she's like, so if she was supposed to be 16, 17 in the first one, that makes her
She got
20?
that in the first movie. Her hair turned gray.
Oh yeah, you're right. So but I'm saying, what is her exact title profession in this movie?
I think she's just a psychiatrist or something.
Counselor or something?
Isn't she a bit young regardless? Like, what year is it supposed to take place in? Because this is only, 4 years max after the first one?
They always fucking do that. Part 4, Friday the 13th, and then part 5, he was a fucking adult. Corey Feldman, just 1 year.
I'm saying she is fucking 20 tops, 20 years old. And you're telling me she's out of college, working, all this stuff, established.
This is movie land where you don't gotta do all that stupid shit.
She's wearing the fucking Golden Girls shoulder pads. She's professional. They have her dressing like an older woman, of the time, too. But clearly, she was on that show the next year, Just the 10 of Us or whatever, like I said, and she was playing a high school daughter. So
I'd never seen that show.
It's not good, Then
why are you bringing it up?
Because she's in the fucking show and she's in the movie, man.
You always gotta fucking bring up shit, and that ain't good.
Did Wes Craven speak fondly of this movie? Did he ever mention his favorite Nightmare films outside of the one he did?
I don't think he likes any of the sequels.
He didn't like any of them?
I don't think so.
Interesting.
He didn't want any of them to be made.
Interesting. Is there anybody of note in the industry that like Nightmare 2 that aren't fans besides fucking Mark Patton, of course, Mark Patton, he's the Tommy Wiseau, where he pretty much is making Nightmare 2 his career at this point. Writing books, documentaries on it, yada, yada, yada.
And it's not even a bad movie.
It's a good movie.
So he's better than Tommy, apparently. Oh, no one's better than Tommy. I was just joking. Tommy's the man. We should get Tommy on an episode.
He's a bit. We have to wait for him to die down a little bit again.
Yeah.
He's kind of in demand right now, but
we gotta wait for him to get some free time.
Well, I'm just saying he's riding high.
He's booked. He's booked right now.
Right now he's booked. He's riding high with this whole thing. You got to know, like when he did The Room, a couple years after he did The Room and all that shit died down, he literally had a fucking YouTube channel he had a YouTube show on Machinima. Like, you know, it's like
The Tommy Wise Show.
The Tommy Wise Show. He literally dropped down to nothing and he was doing fucking YouTube channel shows and stuff. And he'll get there again, you know. Then we'll sick him.
Yeah, America, they have a short attention span.
And then we can ask him if he's like less malnourished now, because you pointed it out and I didn't notice that when we met him. You were talking about he had these jeans that were like falling off his ass. He was wasting away. I didn't really notice that stuff, but then I went back and looked at the pictures. I'm like, man, his legs are like chicken legs. He's got no ass. His shit's falling off him. And it's like, yeah, this guy was actually pretty built in The Room, you know?
Yeah, he had a little bit of a physique going on in that. And then now his stomach filled out. His legs got skinny. Something was going on there. But I mean, he's
old.
In his late 50s, early 60s, maybe?
The Room was how many years ago? When did he film it actually? You know, it's been a long time. And he was
like 15 years, right?
I think they were filming the movie for 4 years or something.
Yeah, that's when it came out. It was 15 years ago. And do they still not have like anything on like what year he was born? Is that still a complete mystery?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
I was just thinking, like, man, I got some a package full of Blu-rays tomorrow, but now I'm bummed because, like, is the mail gonna come tomorrow?
I don't know, but his Wikipedia doesn't say the year he was born. It's bullshit. That's bullshit.
Since the government shut down.
Oh, what's the holiday? Was there a holiday? What's going on?
No, they're just shut down because they couldn't decide on the money for taxpayers to pay for that wall that Mexico is supposed to pay for.
Oh, you're talking about the governmental shutdown thing?
Does the mail stop coming?
I don't think so, dude. I think that keeps going. You know what I mean? It's.
I was gonna say it better.
Yeah,
what's their slogan, man? Whether rain, snow, or what? They always go.
They
man.
They can't fuck with people's paychecks.
I will fuck with them.
Livelihood and whatnot.
Yeah, here's that scene, baby.
The big scene.
Oh yeah, this is good shit. Right
I used to watch this thinking this is the luckiest kid in Hollywood. He gets to do a scene with this mature older woman, right?
He's probably 18. Mm-hmm. He's probably over 18.
But he looks so young, man. I guess he's 18, but he'd have to be, I guess. But he looks young. Like, can you imagine being an actor and you're like 17, 18? Look at that CGI, man.
I don't even think that's CGI, dude. That's more like...
Yeah, it's like optical. Yeah.
Composite shot or something.
But yeah,
I always thought she looked like a B-rate Kelly LeBarack or something.
Oh yeah, no, that's perfect. Yeah. I was actually thinking that too. This guy looks like he's one of Jean-Claude Van Damme's kids. The glasses there.
He reminds me of the magician from the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon in the 80s. That's what I think of.
I think I remember that too. Yeah.
Ironically, he's a magician in his fantasy or nightmare or whatever.
Oh, is this her dream power? She can fucking do a somersault. Great. That was
another dude in a wig.
Yeah, so dumb. Oh, like in Nightmare 4.
Since this is a dream, they should be fucking each other.
Yeah, but it's just
Check out my dream power, man. I can bend this plastic chair.
They could have like a big dysfunctional orgy and shit.
That'd be awesome.
Oh god, she's bad.
And bad.
That's bad. Like the mohawk and the gimp suit.
That's a cringy line, but it's awesome at the same time.
Yeah, it's so cringy, man. We need a moment of silence for this. No, we don't. We can keep talking, but it's fucking like I'm having. If this guy doesn't have an erection, I've got one in his honor.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't. None's happened yet.
This scene would have been better. Oh my
Zach's
god,
got one for Joey.
Yeah.
This scene would have been better if it was the kid in the wheelchair because he'd be extra tortured because he couldn't do anything about it because he had no feeling.
He's got a mind boner, but there's nothing going on downstairs.
Well, it's his dream, though.
You know how fucking in my mind, this kid's like 16 and he's got this older chick's tits all over him. for a movie, and he's got the biggest wood right now. He'd have to have the biggest wood.
Oh God,
dude, I had no control over my dick at that age. The wind picked up.
Does Freddy also like to fuck little boys since he's kissing Joey?
I guess he does.
Do you think that was Freddy, or do you think he just made like a mirage happen or something?
Didn't they do this again in New Nightmare of the Tongues?
Oh, yeah, something like that.
Didn't they? Like, he used that. It's like a reprisal.
I would have fucked with him more and had it like showed my face when I was sucking his dick.
Dude, no. When Freddy revealed himself, now he keeps fucking him. He's got him tied up.
Yeah, that'd blow his fucking
He
mind.
wipes his fucking mouth and smacks his lips.
Maybe Freddy's gender fluid. You know, I mean,
No, I'm just saying-
maybe he was progressive for the time.
If this guy is really trying to fuck with people in their nightmares, I would be like glad. Like, I'm so happy you're killing me right now, because it would have made it worse if he just like smacked his lips and he started going down on his dick as Freddy. Like, oh God, no.
with his rotten teeth and shit.
That would have made the scene better.
God, horrible.
Apparently, there was an extended scene where there was a like transformation from her to Freddy, but they cut it out.
What do you mean?
Is there still footage of it, or
Yeah, they shot like her turning it.
on a Blu-ray or something?
It was on the. They talked about it. They showed pictures of it. In
Hey,
the,
Kevin McAllister fucking booby trapped that doorknob.
Yeah.
would you fuck Kevin McAllister?
No.
I would.
You act as if I'm going to hesitate when you ask me those questions. I never do.
Would that even happen if you got it hot enough? Would it turn red?
No.
I don't think so.
But this is in Freddy Land.
But it happens in Home Alone too.
Oh, you mean the actual doorknob? I don't know if it would conduct heat quite like that, man. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? We could try it. Where'd he get that thing anyway? That thing he hangs on the doorknob? What the fuck is that? Like, how do you buy one of those?
It was like an electric hot iron or something.
It's like,
Yeah,
it was
weird.
perfect for his needs. Like, where do you go to buy that?
Right.
Like, I need something that's going to hook around. It's going to be an iron. It's going to hook around a door handle just right.
What's going on in here?
They're all
I know.
fucking.
It's on the tip of my tongue who that chick is, and I almost have it. I want to say the movie I know her from. She played like a drunk.
Why don't you look on IMDb?
I don't recognize her at all. She just looks like Cloris Leachman to me.
I'm gonna look it up because whatever she was in something where I think she was always drinking. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up.
She looks like a wino.
Yeah, what's her name in the movie? Do you guys happen to know? I'm sorry.
She's in Blue Velvet, Carrie, the Twilight Zone movie, Desert Heat. She was in Desert Heat. That's probably what you're talking about.
That's it. Desert Heat. Yeah, that's it. She was the fucking wife of the guy that owned the hotel, and she was always drinking booze. And she spied outside the window, and Van Damme was having the three-way with the two young
you
girls.
have to be the only person I know that remembers that fucking movie.
And then it was funny.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's so great. She's like spying on him from outside the window, inside, and he's having a three-way. And then he sees her out of the corner of his eye. And while he's fucking her, he points at her. He's like, "Don't worry, you're next." And then she goes, "Spreading the joy to everyone." She keeps drinking. It's such a good movie. I love it.
Does she start rubbing her clit and squirt all over the place? I would come.
That's where I know her from, though, man. That fucking drives me crazy. I gotta tell my brothers that. That. You know who else is in it? Oh, full circle with Home Alone. Do you know? She's got a shoebox full of my dangly ones. You know that guy? He plays the old man in Desert Heat, and he's like buddy with Pat Morita because Pat Morita's in it too. It's gold, and there's this great line where like Van Damme kicks some guy's ass, and the old man from Home Alone's right there at Pat Morita, and Pat Morita goes, "I bet he gets lots of pussy." And then the old man goes, "Yeah, I bet."
It really isn't gold, but it is to you, and that's all that matters.
It's good. It's such a fucking good movie. You guys need to watch it, man.
Oh man, she's been in some good movies. She was in Blue Velvet, and she was in Carrie, 1976.
You're literally repeating everything Zach just said.
Yeah, he was talking over me too, so he probably didn't hear me either. Or Aaron was talking over me, I meant.
Yeah, sometimes you guys get a little garbled on the Skype. So did I just repeat what you guys said before?
You did. It's all good.
My bad.
But you mentioned all these.
I'm being your echo.
You mentioned all these great movies, but you didn't mention Desert Heat, which is
Because it
sin
ain't
for
a
you.
great movie.
is a good
Oh, she
movie.
was on the Flash from the '90s. Flash, nice.
Oh yeah, with the Mark Hamill as and that Mark Hamill had a role in that
Did
show.
you
Yeah.
call him the Mark Hamill?
With the Mark Hamill, yeah.
Mark Hamill himself.
You're like my grandma.
Mark Hamill. I've never met anybody in my life. I understand your ears and the cartilage in your nose and stuff like that keeps growing as you get older. But man, Carrie Fisher's nose and Mark Hamill's nose, they got huge schnozzes out of nowhere. Like you watch that Last Jedi, and what the fuck happened to their noses? Their snouts.
Something
man.
happened to like her mouth too. Like she's got dentures now or something, or had.
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah, she has that denture
But,
thing, and in the way she talks. But Mark Hamill's schnoz, his snout got fucking massive. And I understand, I think he got into like a car wreck at some point, so I don't know if that has something to do with it. But Carrie Fisher's fucking nose is huge. And I looked
Yeah.
up a picture that compared the two, and it was like it was monstrous, man. Like I would hate to be a Kleenex on the receiving end of that sneeze. You know.
I would love to. You getting used to your complete purpose.
Here we go. Amanda Kruger. And where do we know? Oh, I know. You know where I know Amanda Kruger from? She played Drew Carey's boss on the Drew Carey show, the main boss. Not like
Oh yeah.
there was the middleman boss, which was Craig Ferguson. It was Kevin Pollak at first,
Right.
then got replaced by Craig
Right.
Ferguson. But she was like the big boss,
Yep.
and that's all I know them from. That's all I got to say about that.
There's a lot of lookalikes in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Besides Bill Maher, there.
Well, I was thinking the Kelly LeBrock lookalike, then the Bill Maher lookalike, and I don't know why I just thought of that.
And then Frodo and what's his name's
Yeah.
fuck child.
Dude, the Sean Astin one's not even trying to be funny. Like he legit looks like Sean Astin. Like that one's like not
but he
even-
also looks like Corey Feldman. Collided
not
with him.
really. He just looks like maybe his hair. That's it.
No, his face.
You're in denial. Shut up.
Yeah, you better. I'll beat the fuck out you. Would you fuck Mrs. Kruger?
Not after all those fucking 100 maniacs did, man. I don't want to be on the receiving end of that. You sleep with everybody she slept with.
I'd do it right after.
She must have been wearing something pretty hot for all those guys to be that unrestrained.
Probably not. She just got locked into the fucking thing with a bunch of psychos. They would have hit
I
anything.
know, but if she wasn't dressed like such a whore, Zach, they would have been minding their own business. It was her fault.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kidding.
Kruger is hashtag me too.
Hashtag me too as she exposes the 100 maniacs. She goes down the list.
Exactly.
So the bastard son of 100 maniacs, I mean, that's still logically, he's not the son of 100 maniacs. Clearly he's the son of one maniac. So why do they even like, I don't know.
Because it sounds cooler.
Yeah, it sounds cooler, but it fucked with my head. I didn't know when I was a kid. I didn't know much about biology. I literally thought, "Oh my god, we can literally make a sperm milkshake and have like a super mixed baby full of a bunch of different dudes." You know, I used to watch the movie Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I think the same thing because they did that on Twins. They had this big lab test, and they had a sperm milkshake, and they had all the biggest like athletes and brainiacs to make this super baby, which is Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I don't know how it worked there.
Oh,
You know,
well, there
'cause-
they have fucking scientists that are fucking with it. Like test tube baby shit.
I don't know, man.
Gotta have a test tube baby.
Assuming your mysterious nun is right.
Hey, Josh James, how do you rank this fucking movie in the Nightmare series?
Whoever she is,
A lot of people think it's number one, but how do you rank the Nightmare series altogether? Rank the Nightmare series.
Man, that's tough. I
Include-
really
include-
do. Go ahead.
Include Freddy Jason too. Include Freddy Jason.
Freddy versus Jason as well.
Yeah.
I really like 1 and 2 a lot too. I know those kind of drop off and when they square off against 3 and 4, because 3 and 4 I really think are the peak. But I mean, I actually think I like 2 a little bit better than this one. But this one, I would say it's definitely maybe 2 number 3 slot. I like it a little bit better than 4.
That's mine too. I like 2, 1, and 3. It's my favorite.
I think I would go 2, 3, 4, 1 probably.
So really, now here's the thing about one though. Is it just because it's so played out though? I mean, or is it one of those things where I don't know? Like I watch it after not. I watch it the least because it is the first one. We've seen it a million times. But if you can distance yourself from it for a long enough time, you appreciate what it is. Like, man, this one might be the best. For what it is. Like if you really pick, because you could picture yourself when it came out, like when Freddy was not a thing, and that was you just seeing that movie for the first time, never been introduced to the Freddy Krueger character. If you could sort of like pretend you're in that scenario, it's pretty intense.
Well, even if he puts 2, 3, 4, 1, it doesn't mean he doesn't like the first one. There's still a bunch more under it.
Yeah, I know. My parents saw the first Nightmare on Elm Street, and they said they saw it when it first came out, and they said they said it scared the shit out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pre Silly Freddy, that was pre all this stuff, and it probably would. Anyway, I'm gonna let you finish though.
I think the original soundtrack is one of the best horror soundtracks.
Mm-hmm.
That original
theme. So now that you got the top 4 out of the way, Josh, I'm sure it gets pretty hard after this because it's like, all right, where does all this other shit go?
I'd have to see Dream Child again, but it could be in the top 5. But I would say,
you can't include Freddy vs. Jason. Remember?
Say again.
I was saying, don't forget Freddy vs. Jason because man, Freddy vs. Jason is better than that shit pile. I'm just saying, it's got some kind of
okay, yeah. So maybe. Because definitely not Freddy's Dead. Freddy's Dead's probably like really low on the list. Meaning it's probably one of my least favorites. So I think Freddy vs. Jason will probably be high up there because that's pretty classic Freddy. I feel like. What else we got? I'm not really crazy about the new Nightmare. Just because I don't really like the way they reinvented Freddy that much in terms of his
I used
look.
to like it when I was a kid. Like I think I liked the reinvention of him a lot more when I was younger. I still like the movie. It's not as to me the concept of it is a lot scarier than the actual execution.
Right.
Like, I like the idea. I love what they were going for. I respect the movie. I think it's
absolutely, yeah.
The whole meta thing and everything about it is really cool. I just don't think the execution it doesn't come off as good to me as an adult, but I still like it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to give Wes Craven credit for coming at it with an original angle, because
Wes Craven's
the shit was getting played out,
He's one of the only guys that was able to revive his career multiple times throughout his career.
Okay.
He's just got the charm, like the first of all, the name Wes Craven is fucking awesome. So it's not hard to make, to bring that name back around. I mean, it's such a legendary name,
What about his fake name that he made under Abe Snake that he made pornos under?
What?
Abe
yeah,
Snake.
I forgot about that.
Please school us on this. Tell me the history. What's going on there? Because I didn't know this.
He made a couple. Angela the Fireworks Woman is the only one I've ever seen. He went under the name Abe Snake, and he's even in the movie.
Did he perform in it? That's what I was going to say. Did he perform?
No,
or
he
just
just
act?
plays a random character. That's
oh god.
Weird. But it's
Were they
like it's
hardcore?
like a roughy, rape kind of movie.
Oh, so it's like borderline Last House on the Left, but it actually goes all the way.
Which is what Last House on the Left was originally going to be too. Yeah.
Was he going to put his name Abe Snake on Last House?
I don't know.
Stayed full blown porno.
Maybe.
So that was purely for monetary purposes to do those movies.
Yeah, probably.
Interesting.
He might have done them first.
Oh, I would imagine he did. You're telling me he did this stuff after Nightmare on Elm Street?
Not at least after at least one of his movies, maybe.
Wow, I had no idea. So yeah, I mean, after the fourth one, you're just kind of left with the first 4 is the hardest one to rank, right? Because after you get to the first 4, it's kind of a shit pile. I'm trying to think. It is really tough to rank the first 4. Because it just depends on the week you ask me. There's times where I think
exactly, because I can love any of the movies between 1 and 4 can kind of interchange depending on my mood. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or the setting. If I'm watching with friends, I'm definitely gonna put number 2 in Freddy's Revenge. I'd probably go that would be the first movie I'd go to.
Part of me wants to be. A lot of the times I want to be the cool guy that says Freddy 2 because it's a hip thing to say because people hate it.
No, it isn't.
Well, I mean, it always was for the longest time. It was forgotten, man. Now it seems to have gotten a bit of a resurgence, right? Now it's now it's kind of had the adverse effect where it's the hipster thing to say, I guess. But I used to be that guy, and I still love Freddy's Revenge. But I don't know, man. And part of me wants to give it to the first one, you know, even though it's like not the movie I go back to the most, but it is what it is. I don't. It's a lot. 1 and 2 are companion pieces to me, just like 3 and 4 are. And I know Heather Langenkamp's in this one, so you could say 1 and 3 should be companion pieces. I've never seen it like that. 1 and 2 both have.
Sometimes I just like the simplicity of 1 and 2. You know, it's just the basic concept of Freddy, and it's just they're creepy movies, and it hasn't become the circus yet that the franchise becomes later on. You know, the only shot I don't like in either 1 or 2 is the shot where Freddy's arms get really long and off to the sides. Like that shot to me always bugged me, but everything else is fucking great, man.
Because it looks like a Stretch Armstrong. It looks like a toy.
They should have made a Freddy Stretch Armstrong. They fucking dropped the ball. I would have bought the shit out of that.
Oh yeah, totally.
I don't know though. So you mentioned that scene. Obviously you're looking at it as an adult and you're like, wow, that his arms look. I'm assuming you think his arms look like shit. It looks silly.
Yeah, well, he looked really, really short, first of all. And then,
it's when he starts running, he looks short because they had to fucking stand and play the guy with it runs. And then Robert Englund was off camera for whenever she ran into him.
Well, the arms are just like so obviously like on strings. I don't know. Like sometimes a hokey effect, you know, I like the way hokey effects look most of the times in the 80s. But for some reason, that shot was just horrendous to me. Like just really takes me out of the movie, you know?
What's funny is that you in modern day, because my parents, they always talked about that scene. They said when we got out of that, they said when we saw that when we were teenagers, and they said like that scene where his arms grew in the alley, it fucked with us. They said they
I remember
that scene out.
My dad told me that scene scared the shit out of him when he was little. And
that would, the way that scene was shot, I'm sorry, it was creepy. It was dark. You can't see his face, and you got this fucking disfigure in the street. And
that shot never really bothered me. The one that kind of does now as an adult is the ending with the blow up doll. But even that's
horrible. They should have left that out.
When I sent that gift to you guys today, I was rewatching it over and over. I was like, yeah, I still think it's fucking hilarious. Like, there's something kind of comical about that.
But the rest of the movie isn't comical.
That's true. You're right. It's a kind of a bad juxtaposition. But I for whatever reason, the arm thing bothers me. That doesn't. I can't explain it. But
yeah, I have to disagree. I think
neither of them really bother me.
I think the arm scene's classic. I think that's classic Freddy. I think that also you have that during that same scene, we get to see that clearly the fire didn't get to Freddy's stomach because he pulls up his shirt and he's got like hamburger meat on his chest and he's got nipples and he cuts his abdomen. He's not burnt, but clearly in part 4 you see all the soles in his stomach. Oh, and he's all burnt.
Yeah.
I will say that one of my favorite movie moments in the Freddy franchise is in 2 during the pool party scene where he comes up out of the ground.
Awesome. It's incredible, and
that's one of my favorite movie moments in horror genre in totality. You know what I mean?
It was done
that
so well.
much.
Like however they did that, man. However they pulled that off. But you'd think that was in the real world. You'd think that would be talked about like in the news forever. You had all these witnesses, this fucking guy jumping out of the pool.
Who's going to believe a bunch of stupid little kids?
Yeah, it's such a cool scene though, man. I think what's funny, just to keep it safe and to keep it simple, because like I said, depending on the week, I could really reorder some of these. Honestly, I think it's safe to say that the number 1 spot rotates between the first 2 somewhere, right? I can easily say probably the first 2 rotates for number 1 spot, and I can easily say the number 3 and 4 spot rotate from 3 and 4, right? So that's pretty narrowed down, but for the sake of keeping it simple, I literally could keep them in order. The first best is 1, then it goes 2, 3, 4, 5, Freddy's Dead 6, right? They literally right down the line. Mm-hmm. And then, and then...
That's respectable. I can get along with that.
But Freddy vs. Dead, I have to give that. No, sorry, Freddy vs. Dead doesn't make sense. Freddy vs. Jason.
If Freddy vs. Jason was part 5, it probably would have been like the best horror series ever. Really.
So
that's a good point. I hadn't thought of that.
Well, I would have liked Freddy vs. Jason had it been made when 5 was right in the late 80s.
It originally was going to be, yeah.
But I'm forgetting about Freddy vs. Jason, and I have to put that after part 4. That has to be number 5 actually, because it's better than 5 and it's better than 6. And if you want to include the fucking remake, that is dead. That's somewhere.
I would put that underneath. I would put part 6 better than the remake.
The remake is the worst of the worst.
Yeah,
it is the worst.
Oh, that doesn't even deserve a spot on the list at all.
Yeah, I mean, like,
if you have the chance to get the set and it comes with the remake, at least you get a free coaster. That's the only way you need to buy that movie.
The remake doesn't come with the set. What do you mean?
No, I'm just saying if you ever buy that movie, it should just be because it came with the set and you got a free coaster.
It's fucking terrible. And apparently there's what we saw on IMDb in Nightmare on Elm Street 2019 or 2020.
Yeah, that's an official release on IMDb.
Is it unofficial, you said?
It's official, I guess.
It looks fake. There's nothing that really supports it. You
gotta pay money to make an IMDb listing, so I don't know.
It just looks it just doesn't look fake. There's not enough like names behind it, and there's not enough paper trail of it. Just
the cover is like Freddy's claw is like the fucking one of those little those machines where you can.
Oh, the claw machine! It's a claw machine,
and there's somebody's face in the bottom looking up.
If that is legit, like poster art somebody cooked up, that is horrible. The Freddy claw machine. Look at that.
Like, if they would have done that idea in the 80s and it was more colorful on the poster and more stuff going on, maybe it would have been cool.
I don't know.
But it just looks really bad.
I love the Freddy in the tuxedo, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said,
that's classic.
This is the first one. Okay, so if they were ever going to make a Freddy movie based on selling toys, it was this one and the 4th one. Right?
Yeah.
Because you had all these different like Freddy versions. You have Tuxedo Freddy, you have Nurse Freddy, you have Super Freddy in 5. You know, it honestly became like an action figure thing.
Yeah, Nika could do some great stuff with. I mean, the stuff they put out with Freddy it's pretty good. I'm just saying they could do more. They could expand the line and do a lot more with it, and because there's so many versions of Freddy that it'd be cool to have like one of each.
But I'm saying like it's almost like. If this was a movie that was rated PG and they had like a contract deal with Playmates Toys, you could tell.
Oh, you mean like back in the 80s or something?
Yeah, it looks like one of those movies they made for merchandise. You know, it's
right.
like
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She looks good in this scene, baby.
Well, yeah, because her character fits into the elements, right? She doesn't seem like a sore thumb all of a sudden.
I'd hit that.
So let me pose you guys a question. Do you think that if they were going to revive this franchise, is there like do you think this is possible? There's an actor out there, and it doesn't have to be like somebody that we already know. It could be a nobody, but there's an actor out there that could fill the Freddy shoes, and then they could bring the franchise back.
Ed O'Neill,
or is like Robert Englund like the only one ever? You know,
Ed O'Neill. They need to go back in time, or have Ed O'Neill drop about 30 pounds. And Ed O'Neill should play him, because I always used to think Ed O'Neill from the first couple of seasons of Married with Children was the same guy that played Freddy. I used to think they were one of the same. Legit, when I was a kid.
I just rather see fucking Robert Englund play Freddy.
He's old. Yeah, I still think they could do it. I mean, I get it. He's older.
I want to see one more. You know, they could squeeze out one more.
And here's what I think. And I think we discussed this on R-Rated. I think they should remake it. It could totally be a reboot of the franchise, brand new. All this stuff is no longer canon. Start the story over, but have Robert Englund play him and have it make sense. Like, have him play him as an older man. Like, they're rebooting it. Now Freddy Krueger could have been an older guy, right?
Which was the original intention of Freddy Krueger.
And it would be totally cool. I mean, and it would work. And he could be this older guy that's like a demon, and it works. And if there's certain things that are too active for him, well, then get stunt guys. Like, he doesn't have to do all the shit.
Well, dude, it's not like Robert Englund's fucking an elderly old man on, with a walker or something.
Yeah, I think he's a senior citizen. I think he's legit.
Maybe. I don't know.
Did you guys know they made a reality show out of Nightmare on Elm Street like in 2015 that never was aired?
No.
I did not know that.
It was basically like fucking Fear Factor, but Robert Englund was the host.
What was this, like on Sci-Fi or fucking Shudder?
I think ABC. but it never.
No way.
It was never aired. But he wasn't even in makeup. It was just Robert England showing up.
ABC.
Yeah, it was NBC something.
I just think Robert Englund, he feels, is it really that big? He doesn't like getting in the makeup.
Yeah,
Like literally, it's like you're too old to get in the makeup and spend hours getting in makeup. Like, I mean, take a fucking nap. You're old. That's what old people do. They sleep. They fall asleep. What is that on Grandma's Boy?
plus it'd be hot and shit. I don't really blame him, but yeah.
I mean, like, it would be cool. I mean, I think they could, like, literally do the close-ups with him. Have other see like that. See, like, you got Robert Englund in the shadows. Get another guy to do that shit. The secondary shit.
Yeah.
If you got to.
But he
We'll
does
take-
have a certain body type, a certain gait, a certain
Yeah.
state, sort of attitude. Like I was saying in the last one that we did last weekend, that he's underrated as an actor for a lot of that body type of acting that he does.
Yeah.
The body gesturing and stuff is like, it's really good. There's a lot of acting in it. And,
This guy was Harry Potter before Harry Potter.
yeah, right.
I think so. If they remade Freddy, they remade Nightmare on Elm Street and started the story fresh again, they could make. See, this scene always got to me because he just straight up stabs him. Like, how often does he actually?
Yeah.
It's like in 4 when he just stabs Kincaid in the stomach with his knives and he's holding him there. How often does he actually just impale
Yeah.
people with his fucking knives? Right?
It's like he's just killing like a trick or treater or something.
Well, yeah, it's
Just
true.
looks like a kid. Like, yeah.
Especially in 3 and 4, he finds ways to kill all these people without using his knives, like puppeteering, all kinds of stuff. But like when you actually see him just stab someone in the gut with their knives, like wow, it actually makes
Yeah.
it's like wow, he went slasher for a second there again.
Yeah.
See, I don't think that they should
This is my
remake.
favorite part. Kincaid, I could kiss you. What's stopping you? Sorry.
You ever? It's funny too if you look at the poster art because it's got a white guy with that red shirt because they always made the poster art before the movie was made. They just had they gave him an idea of the character. Maybe they read the script. So yeah, maybe it wasn't written as a black guy in the script. So yeah.
So
he's
but anyway,
like-
you're saying you don't think they need a recast or whatever, Josh?
I don't think they need to remake it either. Yeah.
No, my point I was gonna make was that if they gonna bring Robert Englund back, don't do a reboot or a remake or anything. Like, make another sequel. I think that would be the way to go. I think that's the way to redeem it. I mean, they already did a reboot, and it was obviously terrible.
You have seen in 2003 or 4 when they had Freddy vs. Jason, Robert Englund, he still passed, but you could just see how his like makeup looked rubbery.
That wasn't because he's
and
old though. It was just different people making the effects.
Maybe, but it looks bad because you see like the rolls in
Dude,
his
I
neck
didn't-
and he was fat.
I never even noticed any bad makeups or anything. Maybe I'll have to look for it.
It
next
wasn't
time I watch
good.
it, but-
He's got like his gut and stuff. He's kind of getting old man skinny fat a little bit. And it's just like the makeup looks real bad in his neck because his neck's kind of got some fat in it and it just looks all plastic. It looks bad. But anyway, yeah, I mean, makeup could probably fix that. And I think they could make a legit Nightmare movie and just kind of work around his age, right? They could probably do all kinds of they can de-age actors like Robert Downey Jr. and shit in movies now, right? De-age Peter Cushing in Star Wars. De-age fucking, or like, they can do this stuff. So, I mean, I think they could work around his age a little bit. But I mean, I wouldn't be against the idea of a reboot. I would not be against it if there's like, okay, we're going to get Robert Englund. It'll justify him being older. We can have scenes of him as an older man. And you know what? Maybe they can even reboot the original. The reboot would be sort of a telling of the Dream Warriors. And then they can get all this sweet cast of ensemble people playing the Dream Warriors. Because you could get Ed O'Neill playing as Freddy.
Yeah,
you get
that would be
Pauly
cool.
Shore as Joey. You just have fun with that.
Pauly Shore's Joey. I
could
can see. Why don't they have Pauly Shore become Freddy? That'd be interesting.
I think we've said that a million times, man. What about
Really?
What about, of course, Pauly Shore's in everything when we watch something like, hey, Pauly Shore's got to play this guy. Pauly Shore's got to play this guy.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question. Here's something that just popped into my head. Do you think the last thing that's going to go through Robert Englund's mind when he dies is Freddy Krueger?
Probably, I'm sure.
The very last thought he has.
His legacy, probably. Yeah.
One of the hospice nurses that shows up will be like, oh man, can I get an autograph? As he's fucking dying. Like, oh my God, you're Freddy. But no, what about Paul Rubens as fucking Freddy? No, okay, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Wrong kind of genius, I think.
But no, it'd be fun. No, that's a good question though. Seriously, who who would honestly you think do a good job? Who would do a good
I
job
think
as Freddy?
you'd have to go find somebody out there who's got the chops that nobody knows of, like
They would probably go
who's
unknown. Yeah.
not done a lot of stuff.
If nobody knows him, then we can't really have this conversation because we don't know him. Like just for shits and giggles and to have
Okay.
fun. If let's,
All right.
let's name actors that we do know who they are. They don't have to be like A-list. It just as long as we can reference them to something. Who do you think would pull off Freddy that we could attribute to something else? I literally think, okay, Ed O'Neill, on all seriousness, he's older and fatter than fucking Robert Englund these days. But young Ed O'Neill, fuck yeah, all day long. But who today? I don't know.
Yeah, because they do have to have a little bit of the comedy chops going on, so that's definitely a prerequisite. So that Ed O'Neill would actually be a decent choice.
You think so? You think if they recast it and reboot it, they'd go the comedy route?
Well, I say they have to have comedy chops because Freddy really essentially is kind of a clown in a way.
Well, we have to be prepared. We have to be prepared for Disney to buy out Warner Brothers, so they would go comedy because they put in comedy with everything. Which, by the way, did you guys hear that? So obviously Disney bought Fox. That's one thing, but then Sony's Sony Pictures, their movie side of the company, they announced that they didn't get real specific, but whoever's heading up the unit of the movie side, they said if we don't start making a profit, we're gonna have to sell too, because they haven't been making profits on their movies. And who do you think would be like in first line to buy Sony? Well, because Sony owns Spider-Man, so Marvel will be right in there, and they'd buy all their shit too, and we'd have a serious monopoly on our hands. But I don't know. It'd pretty much be down to Disney and
Did you
Warner.
guys see the new trailer for Slender Man, the new Sony movie?
Yeah, it looks fucking dumb. I mean, they're just...
That's about 5 years too fucking late.
Yeah, they're making fucking creepypasta fucking movies now, man. Like, that's how fucking lame. It's like, just write a fucking new story. Come up with a new character. You guys are out of reboots. You are out of remakes and sequels, and now you are going to the internet for creepypastas. And it's like, it's such an easy fucking cash grab too, because you can't attribute the creation of Slender Man to anybody. It's just one of those like modern urban myths that just sort of came at it somewhere, and it just...
So what took them so long? Why didn't they do it when it was huge? They're just fucking stupid.
It's fucking dumb, man. It looks bad. It looks so stupid, man. I wonder if kids will see it. You say 5 years too late, but we'll see if people vote with their wallets. Look at that look on his face. That is an Ed O'Neill face. When he got stabbed in the stomach. Look, it's Ed O'Neill. Like when he had all his weenie tots.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Maybe like Hank Azaria. Maybe he could pull it off.
Hank Azaria.
I'm reaching here, man.
How about Tony Danza?
Paul Reiser. Why don't we say Paul Reiser then?
How about the guy that played Paul Blart Mall Blart?
Paul Blart Mall Cop, fucking Kevin James.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler. Could you do? Okay, I'm gonna
David
put Zach on the
Spade.
spot.
David
No, Zach, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Do an impression of Adam Sandler as Freddy Krueger.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Do the fucking Adam Sandler isms, but in Freddy Krueger fashion. His Adam Sandler is pretty good, but could you do
I
both?
can't do Adam Sandler. I can only do the fucking noises he makes.
And so do that as Freddy, is what I'm saying.
I'd have to do it and then change the pitch in the editing.
So do it. That's fine. I'm cool with that. So basically, you just did Adam Sandler, and you're gonna lower the pitch to sound like Freddy. Let me handle
Oh, please, please do that. I gotta hear that.
That's so ridiculous.
What about Willem Dafoe?
Willem Dafoe's a pretty good throwout.
Can Spider-Man come out to play?
Because he's got that kind of like goofy innerness too, but he's creepy as fuck.
You know what's weird is fucking Horshack or whatever his fucking name is from the remake. How come they didn't lower his voice? They should. I mean, that's part of Freddy too. It's like,
They just had him talking to the mic like this.
like Corey G. They got Corey G to do the overdubs.
It was they were doing the Batman bullshit.
I know. It's
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
But so I mean, if someone like Willem Dafoe did do it, I don't want Willem Dafoe's voice as Freddy. Yeah, like you just said, can Peter come out to play? You can't do that. Like have him You got to pitch shift it. I love the stop motion shit, man. You got a fucking box with the fucking skeleton.
Yeah, this reminds me of.
Dude,
It's like Army of Darkness.
It is. I'd be scared if a claymation skeleton came after me.
I'd come.
I wish that existed in real life. Can you imagine like claymation monsters? Clash of the Titans shit.
Yeah, whenever you've got stop motion fucking skeletons in a movie, you're totally on track for me. You know what I mean? I love that shit.
It totally looked like he had him by the balls there, and it didn't.
What if they got the Bill Skarsgård kid?
You can't have him play Pennywise and Freddy, man.
Well, okay, pretend like it didn't happen. Do you think he can pull it off?
Dude, I'm sorry. This is 2018. Do you know how Hollywood is doing with their castings now? So they're going to cast Idris Elba as Freddy. He's got to be black. They got to like reverse race.
You wouldn't even know he's burnt.
It's going to be Denzel.
He just looked like it'd be like fucking Spawn when he was burnt. He could have played Freddy.
They'll get Donald Glover to play Freddy.
Danny Glover.
They'll get Danny Glover to play Freddy. Even better.
Get Kincaid.
That would freak me out, dude. Freddy talking to us in a mirror. It looks like we're all on his like reality game show, and he's giving us all the rules of the game. Oh, whoa, that's cool.
Apparently, like Robert Englund passed out like really late in his Freddy shit, and he got up and looked in the mirror, and it freaked the shit out of him.
Really?
So it probably would have been.
He was in his own fucking nightmare for a minute.
It probably would have been like that scene.
That would have been funny. But how hot could that have been? Could you really fall asleep in that stuff?
Apparently.
That's funny. So wait, nobody was around him, so he went back to his hotel room and legitimately went to lay down, or
something like that as a story.
I think I was watching the featurette to part 4, and I guess there was this like takeout place, and it's like a Chinese restaurant that they would always go to, like on breaks and stuff. And they said one day Robert Englund went in there in full costume. And I don't know if he did it intentionally. He's like, I think it was one of those things where we were so conditioned to seeing me in the Freddy makeup, me and the crew. We just kind of forgot, didn't think anything of it. We all roll in, and I'm fucking in there in my Freddy get up. And this poor delivery boy, this waiter, he just freaked out. And he threw the food up in the air, and he ran the other way, shouting stuff in the native language, like demon or whatever.
I would have hung out with him.
Freaked out. He would have been like, "Give me 4," like in fucking New Nightmare.
Yeah. See, how does she fall for this shit?
Yeah,
that was pretty cheesy, dude. That was pretty cheesy. That was like some 60s Star Trek shit right there.
It's weird because like
he's pulling the Shang Tsung dude with a Chan. Lu.
What if he's like, I forgive you for letting me die.
I forgive you for letting me die.
Nancy, I forgive you for letting me die. She doesn't even know he's dead, so he could have done this without killing her dad.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, he just died.
It must be to trick us into thinking maybe it's really him.
Yeah, like they didn't see him materialize there, only we did.
Well, no, I think it was supposed to be like him saying bye before he left the earth or whatever.
Oh. That's lame. That's like fucking Michael Keaton and Jack Frost.
Exactly.
Coming down to say goodbye one last time.
They should do a Nightmare on Elm Street where Freddy comes back as a snowman. It'd be a Christmas movie.
Hell yeah.
No, I always thought they should
snowman
do that.
in a red and green sweater.
No, I always thought that would have been brilliant, because kids love Christmas. Fucking what's worse than Freddy killing you? Freddy also ruining your Christmas.
No,
and all this shit's going on during Christmas time.
This is kind of funny too because now they're killing him in the dream world. It's like, what makes you think that's gonna work?
I don't know.
They only bring him out of the dream world in like part 1.
Freddy's dead.
Freddy's dead, yeah.
And Freddy vs. Jason.
And that shitty remake too.
Oh, see, I don't even remember. Is this like the Deadlights?
Mm-hmm.
This is cool. I think it looks neat.
Yeah, I like it.
But
that's like the cell painted shit they used to do.
how did they explain Robert Englund or Freddy Krueger coming back in the fourth one? How did he officially get resurrected? I know the dog pissed him out, but what was the reasoning of him being resurrected?
That's it.
I don't think it was ever explained, man.
Probably just because they still fear him. It's probably what you're led to believe.
And
she's still fresh. You should squeeze her tit.
Hey, look, it's like the entire cast of this movie. You mean she didn't have any other family that wanted to go to this funeral? It's all these people that have known her for like a few days.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Besides that random old guy there.
Look at Kincaid in his Cosby
Who's
sweater.
gonna go see her? Fucking Johnny Depp.
Kincaid in a
dad.
Cosby sweater. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, man, but I'm sorry. This is literally all the people that have known her for the duration of this movie. It makes no sense.
We don't know who the fuck that Mike Pence looking motherfucker is. Maybe that's
it. They threw him in.
There's
just
a
to shake it.
back there.
They threw him in just thinking, hey, why
They couldn't afford the extras, you know?
Why is Wheel standing up? Is his dream power still in effect?
Yeah, they did that. He fucking Joey can talk in the next movie. And what happens?
It's not even a dream power. It's like in real life.
Wait, Wheels should be dead. Did you really just see him?
Oh, wait. Maybe I was looking at Joey. Maybe I was confusing him, maybe. Oh.
Why are we calling him Wheels?
Because I don't remember his name. We're on like it lingo now, where it's fat kid, Jewish kid, you know.
Mm-hmm. Who the fuck is this sleeping? I was wondering, is this supposed to be that same guy, the Bill Maher guy?
Yeah, it looks like him.
I never realized that until
a lot of shit just went down. He's sleeping like a baby.
Why would you keep that fucking house?
I have an idea. How about everybody this happens to get the fuck out of Elm Street? That's the first thing I would do. I don't know. Like if every time I fell asleep and all the shit was happening nonstop, I would just leave town. Like maybe that would help.
Mm-hmm.
I totally forgot this movie ended like that.
Yeah.
And we don't see that guy in the fourth one. Bill Maher is not in the fourth one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he lived happily ever after. And yet Freddy clearly showed himself in his bedroom, so maybe they just couldn't recast him.
Zsa Zsa Gabor. She was in this?
Zaza. She was on TV.
Yeah, she was on the TV.
Remember? Who gives a fuck what you think?
Oh, right.
Yeah, she was also in Pee Wee Herman's Christmas special. She's been in all the hits. Look, there's 2 Bobs. Great. No, it's 4 Bobs. 5 Bobs. They put all the Bobs together.
If they were in the movie, they'd have to call him Bob H, Bob W,
Chris R.
like Tommy Wiseau. Yeah,
Chris R. So this is a good song too. We're gonna listen to "Dream Warriors" by Dokken.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Dokken, that's where you put your dicks together and stretch your foreskin over the other guy's cock.
Yeah, I know you tried telling me that last time, and I have no idea where you learned this.
The internet.
Yeah, I was like, wait, is that what it's called?
Yeah,
really?
and I think I mentioned it then too. I'm like,
it's called docking.
People are literally just coming up with these as they go, and I can't take them serious. It's like with music genres, you know. It's like now there's so many different like subgenres of different there's so many subgenres of hard rock. It's like this is so stupid. Why can't it be punk rock, hard rock, whatever? And now, why can't we just keep it simple with the sex moves? Like, why don't we keep like Hot Carl, Rusty Trombone? That's it. Everything else is just like weird sex.
Because that's boring.
And and Chili Dog, that's fine too. I told you what that was.
Shrimping.
Cosby sweater.
The Cosby sweater. That's the vomit.
The Cosby sweater.
That's the vomit, right? Tell me what a Cosby sweater is again.
Yeah, they eat really colorful food and then throw up on their chest.
That's so fucking stupid. And there was the Chili Dog where you, she shits on your dick and you fuck her tits.
Awesome.
All that stuff takes a lot of work. I don't think people actually do these things. I think they come up with them and they make them up in their head.
Memes, man.
Yeah, they come up with them in a hypothetical sense and they don't actually perform them. I don't think anybody would really do a Chili Dog. Maybe Screech would.
The song just stopped on our copy.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's fine. That's lame. Well, then finish it. You can just pick it up, Zach. Sing it. We're the Dream Warriors. Forever.
I always laugh at the music video where he's just like, his mouth just like,
Dude, Dawkins sucks, man. They're not very good. But anyway, Nightmare on Elm Street 3. You know, I don't know. I've watched 3 and 4 relatively back to back, and I don't know. I mean, I guess I could say 3 is the better. I think I enjoyed 4 better this week. I mean, like I said, I can change. I know 4 is not like great, but I think 4's got some fucking kills in it and dream sequences that can go toe to toe with this one. I like Invisible Freddy. I like Karate Guy.
Invisible Freddy's lame.
I think this one inches out for just a little bit in terms of which one I like better. But they're so similar because they're both very similar in tone. They're both paced almost exactly the same. It's just 4 has a little bit more crazy lighting, a little bit better sets in it, though, I feel like. You know, like some of the stuff in it's a little bit more inspired. But I kind of feel like this is a little bit better of a movie.
Yeah. No, I could feel you there too. Let's see. Oh, okay. And I'll finish off too, because there's a couple more comments I wanted to read. We have another new listener by the name of Henrik. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's like looks like it's Swedish or something.
What if these people don't want you saying their name? What if they're in the witness protection program?
I hope not. Well, then they wouldn't put their names on YouTube with their picture. But I don't know how I think it's Swedish, right? It's got the O with the slash going through it, you know?
Maybe.
So it's G-O with the slash N-G-E. It's like Swedish, right?
Jurgen.
Don't insult him. He's a new listener. Henrik Gange or Gange. I don't know. Please, I would love to know how you pronounce it. He goes, gosh damn, just recently discovered your commentaries. They're great. And now I have a shitload to go through. And he gave us the devil horns. So thank you, Henrik. That's amazing.
Sweet.
Yeah. So, and for the first time ever, I'm surprised more people don't do this. Eric Cartman, with a avatar of Eric Cartman. I'm sure it's the real Eric Cartman. He started commenting the start times of when we actually start the movies in our videos. So he's that guy. Starts at 1:46.
Oh, nice.
Dude, we officially made it. That's when you know.
Starts at this time. So that's fine too. Actually, that's pretty cool, actually. And I tested it to see if like this guy's right and he's on the money. I'm like, yeah, so there you go. So maybe we can just kind of like hire that guy to do that for all of our videos because it's funny. Like just, you know, if people want to skip our banter at the beginning, they don't want to hear us praising people like Henrik over here.
They just want to hear us banter while the movie's going.
Yeah, I guess he's right. Anyway, much thanks to everybody that's commented out there. I really, really appreciate it. We all appreciate it. And I want to be sure that if you guys are on YouTube, subscribing there, be sure you check us out on iTunes and wherever else you get your podcasts. We're everywhere because typically those go up a little earlier and they're 100% uncensored. Whereas on YouTube, we have to completely remove the audio in the background from the videos due to copyright stuff. And, you know, we can't include little intros and outros and stuff like we can on the iTunes. So, you know, if you basically want more of what we do in, you know, an unrestrained way, go and subscribe to us. Google Play, Stitcher, iTunes, et cetera, et cetera.
And subscribe to our rated horror commentary.
Will you let me get to it?
Yeah, guys. Come check us out on YouTube.
I was going to get to it, guys. Fuck.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Fuck. Yeah, I wasn't even done with ours. Just going to say, and if you guys go to iTunes, fuck, you fucks. If you go to iTunes, also be sure to leave us comments there and leave us 5-star ratings if you think we deserve it on places like iTunes. That helps out amazingly well. And it's just been a couple of months, but the latest update to the iTunes podcast app on your phones now includes the ability to leave reviews and those ratings. They never did before, so it made it very inconvenient to do it because you had to be at a desktop. Now you don't. So I want to see those reviews coming in. I want to see that feedback coming in. I want to see the film recommendations and questions coming in on YouTube and on iTunes. Like I said, help us trend a little better over there as well. And that's all I got to say. Now, Antsy Pants, I will get to promoting.
No, wait. You should let Josh, he can reveal that big news that he got if he wants to, unless he wants to keep it secret for now. And I'll cut this out.
The test came back positive?
Yeah, I mean, it basically, we're called the R-Rated Horror Commentary Podcast. We've been exclusively a YouTube channel for about almost a year. We've got about 30 episodes up. But we just got picked up by Horrorphilia.com, so we'll be going...
Fuck yes!
We'll be going live on there. We've got... my co-host is Matt Wazell from Banana Laser from Horrorphilia.com, and it's a good show. It's a lot of fun. We're still growing, but we're looking forward to tapping into that crowd, and we'll be up on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play soon too as well. So come check us out and subscribe. That's it.
Rock
really.
on, man. If you
Yeah.
guys are going to be, if you're just all about getting yourself out there everywhere you can, you're going to be on Horophilia, you need to think about letting us post you on the website when that gets finished too. Just throw it out there.
Yeah,
You know-
I'll just say real quick, it hasn't officially been announced yet. But
well, maybe it will once this goes up.
yeah, I mean, we're gonna do. Matt and I are recording an episode next Tuesday, and the episode that we recorded last weekend, and then that episode will probably be the first two that'll go up, and then we're gonna go back into our
Awesome.
archives and start adding that stuff up little by little.
Cool.
So
No, that's pretty rad.
yeah,
But in the meantime, you guys are still on YouTube. So if you guys are going to join Horophilia, are you still going to go on iTunes yourself?
I don't know. I want to see how it kind of shakes out first, see how it gets put out there, and then if I
Uh-huh.
feel like it needs it, then I might do that. But because see, once you go up with Horophilia, it kind of goes. The podcast sort of goes under their umbrella. So it kind of becomes part of the identity of Horophilia.com. So I might want to do my own thing just so we have our own name attached to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be really good for us, and they're great. All their podcasts are really, really good. So I feel like we're in good company, and I'm
That's
super
cool,
psyched
man.
about
Yeah.
it, man. Yeah.
But also, the Revival House Network is what we got going on here. And there as well, you can find not just the BTM commentaries, you can find a slew of other podcasts we do, including Mac and Zach Save the World, Zach's other podcast. So if you're particularly a fan of Zach and his slapstick, lowbrow humor,
All
at times,
three of you.
all three of you, show them some love on their YouTube channel and their iTunes. Well, as well. But also, like I said, they're part of the Revival Network, so you can subscribe on iTunes or Google Play to the Revival House feed, and you can just get all the shit in one place if you don't want to do them individually. That's typically what I like to do because I like all of it. But show them some love, show R-Rated some love. Check out the new episode we did with them last week where we do the Dream Master on R-Rated. It's a hoot. And when you're over there, make sure you subscribe to their channel as well and leave them some feedback as well. But that's all I got. Any
Yeah.
final words?
For the love of God, please, we've been stuck on 75 subscribers forever. And God damn it, I was hoping to make it over 100 subscribers last year, and it didn't happen. So I know a lot of people listen, they're just not subscribing. So come on over and just hit the button. It's not that
Yeah,
hard.
you fucking pansies.
Just hit that
God
button,
damn
that little button, babe. You
That's
stroke
right.
it right. Just hit it.
You guys be taking from them, but you ain't giving. That ain't cool. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever. Show them some love. That's all I got. I guess Roundtable. Any last words?
Oh, fuck YouTube's new changes. Let's just say
Okay,
that.
sorry guys, we're gonna ramble for a second here. Zach has some stuff he wants to get off his chest about the YouTube changes.
They are taking away. If you don't got how many
So
thousands?
when YouTube first started, they had different levels, right? You didn't have YouTube partnership right away. You couldn't monetize your videos right out of the gate. You had to hit a certain level of subscribers and viewership before you would get some of those tiers and perks.
And
when
now, basically, they're bringing it back.
Well, they're bringing it back, and it's changed, though. So when we first started all those years ago, we couldn't have custom thumbnails. We had to earn that, and we couldn't even have, like,
Yeah.
you could only have videos in 15-minute increments. So if you go back way to the deep web, the deep days of YouTube from like 10 years ago, you'll see a lot of videos that were split into like 5 parts because they had to be in 15-minute increments, right?
Right,
Mhm.
right.
So now they didn't say anything about bringing that back. I don't think they want to bring back the time caps. That would be devastating. But basically, they're removing things like custom thumbnails, monetization if you are not at a threshold. So
Now, I don't give a fuck about monetization, but custom thumbnails, what? Fuck you.
yeah, that's Zach's creativity. No, it's not a big deal. So basically, you now within the last 12 months, you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers, which we're very close to that. We're like 40 shy of that, and
But that's not even it. You gotta have fucking hours logged. Watch.
no, well the hours. Well, we've probably hit that. We're fine there. We're just we have until February 20th to hit the sub count, which we're only 40 off. And the way we've been getting subs and you lovely new listeners, we should hit that just fine. But maybe that's all the more incentive. If you like this commentary, give us a subscribe now to ensure that we hit that and we don't take away Zach's creative creative voice.
I'm
and he
just
loves-
pissed that like smaller YouTube channels are gonna like lose that shit. That's retarded.
Yeah, that's the real point here. I mean, honestly, we'll be fine. Even if we don't hit it by February 20th, we'll be
They're
there
making
soon after.
sure that YouTube isn't a place for podcasts, pretty much.
Look, our new listener, Gage Thent, he commented on our Hellraiser 3 thumbnail you did. The dank as fuck, though, where you put the joint in Pinhead's mouth. He goes...
Because he made that weird face in the movie.
Yeah, the close-up.
That weird
And
shot, yeah.
I called it. I was like, you got to make that into a thumbnail, man, somehow. And he pulled that out of his ass. And he goes, thumbnail is fucking hilarious. The trailer for the... So he liked it. So, Gage Thent, this is what they're trying to take from Zach. You don't want that censorship. It's horrible. But anyway, we're okay, honestly. We'll be fine. But yeah, it sucks because now it brings down the channels that are just starting up. It's going to make it harder for them to, to stand out because, things like thumbnails help, right?
Yeah,
monetization.
absolutely. Well, one of the weird things too is that, that's a small thing, but it's annoying to me is like, I can't like customize my URL without being over 100 subscribers, which is...
Did you just call it an URL?
You call it Earl?
Yeah, URL, it's whatever, but...
That's funny. I'm going to call it Earl from now on.
EARL, yeah. But, no, I mean, it's just like one of those small things that just makes it harder for me to promote the channel because it's like,
Because it's a bunch of numbers.
Yeah, I have to like unlock this achievement in order to be able to customize it. It's like really silly.
And for the people just starting out, it shouldn't be about monetization because even if you hit their threshold, you're not making a lot of money, right?
Yeah. So if we don't hit that, we're gonna lose the what? $5 they were gonna throw us.
No, we've got more than that in the bank.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we've got quite a bit more than that. I've just been letting it save up. And whatever. Once it gets to be some kind of substantial amount, I can either disperse it or we can put it into the website or something, right?
They cheap as fuck, though.
There's 8 years worth of monetization built up on our channel that we are going to lose if we don't hit 40 more subs, which I think we will. I think we're going to be fine. But whatever. It ain't about the money. It's not like shit that's going to kill us. We're not even, like I said, Zag didn't know it was fucking there. It's just kind of like just been banking. It's just petty, because YouTube is... They're making money. I'm sorry. You have the big, all it does is paint the wrong example where it pretty much shows, hey, our mascots are Logan Paul and PewDiePie, these douchebags.
Yeah. And when they fuck up, they take it out on the smaller people.
Yeah. Like when Logan Paul and all these people fuck up and do bad things, they take it out on the little guys. But the thing is I know those guys, their dicks swing real low in YouTube land with all their subs and all the stuff they bring, the revenue. But you got to admit, there's a lot more smaller YouTubers out there than there are the big guys, and all those small guys add up to a lot, right?
Yeah,
they add up to a lot, and YouTube is still making that monetization. So I don't
here's
know.
The thing, dude. Here's something from my point of view as a small channel that we're not even a year old yet, but we're building from the ground up.
Sure.
As somebody who's like learning the YouTube process as I go along, it's like even if I just have like one subscriber that listens avidly, it's still a relationship that a person out there is having with the content I'm creating, and even just that one relationship, it should be important. So it's like the little channels kind of just fall between the cracks. And I understand there's a motivation there to scale it up and make it into something that YouTube can profit off of. But there's more to it. There's another angle to YouTube other than that. I'm definitely not into this for the money. Maybe I should be. But it's it's an experience that I'm having and that
like
people
I said,
listen to the show are having,
Even if you wanted it to be about monetization and money, even if you were meeting their threshold and you'd be okay for you're not going to make that much. It's really not even about money at that point, trust me. But what kills me is, thumbnails help. You know how many YouTubers are huge because they put giant pair of wet tits in the thumbnail to get your attention?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, dude, I mean, I'm a visual person. I'm an artist for a living. I'm visual, and like thumbnails draw me in.
No, and that's what
that's
something like what Zach does, man. His dank as fuck. He has fun with those. He has fun with those thumbnails, and they're great, and they suck you in, man. And you got to try and stand out a little bit. And so that that helps. That kind of contributes to bringing down the little guys and keeping the big guys up there, which is kind of a bummer. But we'll be fine regardless. It is what it is. I mean, we did that for a long time. But
even if we're not on YouTube, we'll be on fucking iTunes.
Yeah, we'll be on YouTube as long as they'll fucking tolerate us.
The roaches, like the fucking nuclear bomb will hit, the roaches will be listening to our podcast. We'll still be around.
Because it's all about that relationship, man. It makes me so happy to see week after week new faces in the comments, new subscribers giving us feedback. It literally makes me a very, very happy guy. And I love it. Like Zach said, what Josh said, it's a personal relationship, and I love it, man. And I don't take for granted, and I don't neglect the fact that, someone like Adrian Mendoza, motherfucker, you listen every week. Mm-hmm. And you're always giving us feedback, and you're always commenting on shit. And I love that, man. Brattlesnake, you my ninja. Fucking you're always here too, it seems lately.
Oh, yeah.
We got all these guys that come back week after week.
There's a guy that goes back and forth between my channel and yours. That he's the guy that recommended me. I do the Prom Night series or something.
What's his name?
I'll have to look it up. I can't remember off the top of my head. But he's on your channel a lot too.
I bet you he came over. So, and same thing, man. You guys have gotten to know, some of you guys have gone over to Mac and Zach and shown them some love. It's a community. And I love it, man. Mm-hmm. I absolutely love it. So I don't give a fuck about YouTube. So I'm just happy that some people listen to us and, appreciate it enough to build a dialogue with us. So once again, that's all we got. Oh, last thing I'll pitch. I swear to God, and then we'll be done. We're rambling like motherfuckers here. You guys just get more. That's all it means. Lastly, not least, we just uploaded if you're listening to this, be sure to listen to our last commentary for The Disaster Artist, Zach and I, BTM podcast, and also listen to episode 4 of my own Deep End with Aaron Lipscomb podcast, where I interview a filmmaker by the name of Randall Plunkett from Ireland. Have a fantastic conversation about his experience in filmmaking, and he just got done making his first non-indie feature, and he talks about kind of the gritty realism of the film industry, right? And how it can sort of chew you up and spit you out, and the struggles you go through on getting a project like that done, especially if you're used to doing things yourself.
And plus, the movie has Catherine Isabel in it, so everybody be waiting with their cocks out for that to hit.
Yeah, Zach loves Catherine Isabel, but even more importantly, the back half of it's even better because we kind of recap 2017, it being a New Year's podcast, and him being somebody that's European. I wanted to get his take on American politics and the political landscape in 2017 as an outsider. And the conversation gets really good from there. And we talk about some pretty touchy things that, might get him fired before the movie comes out, which is exciting, right? Mm-hmm. But we're all provocateurs here. So, but that's all I got. I'm Aaron.
I'm Zach.
Josh.
All right. Bye-bye, puppets. Adios.
Later.